Good evening and welcome to ICU TV Main News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Vice President Nalumango to attend 13th Zambia's Water Forum. Zambia strengthens health initiatives at the World Health Assembly. Faith Bwalya makes history at the Miss World 2025. In our international news, settlers set fire to homes in Bruqin. First President meets Copper Queen coach ahead of FIFA windows. With the news details, my name is Mary Dolosera. The Ministry of Education has launched a new communication strategy designed to enhance transparency, coordination, and stakeholder engagement across Zambia's education sector. British Council representative Silka Tembo delivered a speech on behalf of the British High Commissioner, highlighting the strategy's potential to build trust, strengthen accountability, and improve learning outcomes through clear, consistent, and credible communications. Speaking at the event held at Sela Resort on 23 May 2025, Ms. Tembo noted that the strategy was developed through a government-led inclusive program supported by the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office (FCDO) under the Empowerment and Development for Girls Education Age program. She explains that a multi-stakeholder drafting session held in Livingston brings together voices from the Ministry of Education, civil society, and development partners, was followed by a high-level validation meeting with the Cabinet Office Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Education and Information and Media and the President of Delivery Unit. Mrs. Temple emphasizes that effective implementation will align messaging across key education initiatives such as Education for All policy, the homegrown school feeding program, the Keeping Girls in School initiative, menstrual hygiene management, and re-entry policy, ensuring broad understanding and support. Mrs. Tembo states that the strategy would serve as a model for all ministries, demonstrating what is possible through strong local leadership and internationally supported partnership, and reaffirming the UK government commitment to good governance, citizen participation, and transparency services delivery in Zambia. Zambia participates in regional food system dialogue to advocate sustainable agriculture. Vice President W.K. Nalumango is set to officiate the 13th Government Water Forum and Exhibition Zawafi, scheduled from June 10 to 12 June 2025 in Lusaka. As a patron of the Zawafi, she continues her advocacy for sustainable water and sanitation solutions. This year's forum, themed Integrating Solutions for Sustainable Development, exploring the water, energy, food, and ecological nexus, will focus on the interconnections between water, energy, food production, and ecological systems. Special emphasis will be placed on sanitation and the role of Zambia's national drought policy in promoting long-term resilience and sustainable development. Zawafi 2025 The Zawafi 2025 is expected to attract participants from Zambia, the Southern Africa Development Community (SADC), and beyond, including stakeholders from the water, sanitation, health, energy, agriculture, and environmental sector. The event aimed to facilitate knowledge sharing, partnership, and actionable outcomes to address global water and sanitation challenges. The forum will feature paper presentations and panel discussion and exhibition, providing a platform for experts and institutions to showcase innovations and best practices in water resource management. The Vice President's participation underscores the government's commitment to achieve sustainable development goals related to water, food security, and climate action and sanitation. The Ministry of Agriculture has called on farmers, particularly smallholders, to adopt better post-harvest practice to curb significant crop losses and enhance national food security. Speaking at the inception meeting for the Scaling Solution for Food Loss in Africa's project in Lusaka, Permanent Secretary for Technical Services John Mulongoti highlighted that Zambia loses up to 40% of its maize and soybeans harvest due to inadequate storage and handling. He emphasized an environment, agri, private sector entities, development partners, and farmer organizations all committed to reducing post-harvest losses and strengthening Zambia's food security. The Bank of Zambia has kept the monetary policy rates MPR steady at 14.5%, a move that suggests lending rates in the near term will remain largely unchanged. The Bank of Zambia's Governor Dr. Denny Kalyalya states that the decision was influenced by a recent dip in the inflation, which is to 16.5% in April from 16.8% recorded in February 2025. Dr. Kalyalya further notes that inflation is projected to slow more rapid towards the target range of 6 to 8% over the next 8 quarters, driven by the anticipated declines in the cost of maize grain and crude oil. He also highlights that Zambia's gross international reserves rose to $4.5 billion at the end of March 2025, up from $4.3 billion at the close of December 2024. The central bank says it will continue to monitor inflation trends, economic risks, and financial sector stability in guiding future policy rate decisions
that are necessary. So we are driven by the evidence that we see on the ground. When we make assessment, we look at where is inflation at the moment, where is it going in terms of the forecast, what are the risks. You will note in this particular statement, we are saying the balance of risks is tilted towards the downward direction, but we are still above our target range. So we'll have to get to that point where inflation is within that target band, then maybe we can rest, but there is no resting as such, because even on a day-to-day basis, we use the policy rate to give direction where things are going. But on a day-to-day basis, we use also open market operations. There's a chart which we haven't shown it this time around, because the policy rate is targeting the intermarket rate, interbank interest rate. That's what we are targeting. So if you see when you publish the monetary policy report that during this period actually it's well anchored, it's well within that. The policy rate also helps to anchor inflation expectations. What do we mean by that? You see, if each time you wake up, your expectation is that inflation is going to go up, your behavior is fashioned by that. You are going to try and do things to cushion yourself because you expect that inflation is going to go up. So we want to temper that so that you don't have that feeling each time you wake up that inflation is going to go up. We want you to get a feeling that things are going to be much better. And that way, your behavior will likewise change. It's like what we often people say is the glass half full or half empty. Depending on how you look at it. If you say it's half empty, you are going to behave very frantically that no. Yeah? But if you are saying it's half full, you move with a different stance, because you feel you have something you can build on. But when you have a scarcity mind to say that, no, this is that's how you come, there's a stampeding, the people do things which they ordinarily wouldn't do. So when we
At the 77th World Health Assembly, Zambia's Ministry of Health reaffirms its commitment to addressing non-communicable diseases, NCDs, cervical cancer, mental health, and oral health. The delegation highlighted the nation's strategy, interventions aimed at enhancing public health outcomes. To combat the rising prevalence of NCDs, including diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and cancer, the ministry is intensifying public health campaigns promoting healthier lifestyles, efforts focusing on advocating for nutritious diets, including physical activities and reduced consumption of tobacco, alcohol, and sugar-sweetened beverages. In the fight against cervical cancer, Zambia is scaling up to prevention, screening, and treatment services in alignment with the WHO 90 to 70 to 90 targets. Notably, over 63% of girls aged 9 to 14 years received the HPV vaccine during a national campaign in 2023, reflecting the country's commitment to eliminating cervical cancer as a public health threat. Process in mental health includes legal reforms, decentralization of services, and enhancing training for frontline health providers. The integration of mental health services into the nation's health insurance scheme aims to broaden access and bring care close to communities. These comprehensive efforts underscore Zambia's dedication to building resilience, including health systems that prioritize the well-being of all citizens. Zambia Ministry of Agriculture, Honorable Ruben Mloto, participated in the Region Food System Dialogue held in Lilongwe, Malawi. The event themed Transforming Our Food System, making it a reality on the ground in Eastern and Southern Africa, brought together stakeholders to discuss practical, inclusive, and sustainable reforms in the region's food system. The dialogue, supported by the World Bank, the government of Ireland, and the government of Malawi, focused on addressing challenges such as climate change, land degradation, and food supply chain efficiencies that impact food security in Eastern and Southern Africa. Minister Mloto emphasizes Zambia's commitment to implementing strategies that enhance agricultural productivity and resilience. He highlights the importance of regional collaboration in adopting innovative solutions to transform food system effectively. The event concluded with a call for continued cooperation among government, development partners, and private sectors to achieve sustainable food systems that ensure food security and economic growth across the region. We take our first break. Stay tuned for more news in our local stories.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change-makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Welcome back. And in our local stories, Faith Bwalya, Miss World Zambia 2025, has become the first Zambian to advance to the quarterfinals of the Miss World pageant currently underway in Telegaon, India. Bwalya secured her spot by winning the head-to-head challenge in the African group, showcasing her eloquence and commitment to social impact. The 24-year-old medical licensed from Kitwe, Bwalya was crowned Miss World Zambia on April 2025. She is the founder of the Voice of Faith Foundation, which focuses on improving the lives of children, youth, and people with disabilities through education and advocacy. This achievement comes 51 years after Christine Munkombwe became the first Miss World Zambia in 1974, representing the nation in London. Bwalya's advancement marks a significant milestone in Zambia's pageant history. The 72nd Miss World competition will conclude on 31st May 2025 with over 100 contestants vying for the crown. Bwalya's progress has been celebrated by the Zambian community.
Good morning, Zambia. My name is Kabason Kandu, the creative director for Miss World Zambia and the creative director from Kandayatu and Amor Management. I'm here in India to support Faith Bwalya. She's taking part in Miss World, and I can tell you that the girl is doing amazing. Right now, she's just been picked among the top 2 from Team Africa. That will be going ahead to compete one more round for the head-to-head challenge before they can announce the final winner of the war competition in a head-to-head challenge. So I request her to keep praying for her, you keep supporting her, you keep showing love on social media, and let's keep her in our prayers. The girl is pushing, she's doing amazing, and she really needs your support. And we'll keep updating you from Diamond Minja Parade and also Amon Management Parade. Thank you for your love and thank you for your support. Namaste.
A 5-year-old boy has died after being accidentally struck on the head with a hoe by his 8-year-old brother while the two were digging for rodents in the field. The incident occurred on Tuesday, May 20, 2025, around 15 hours. Police Assistant Public Relations Officer Geoffrey Chilabi confirmed the incident, describing it as a tragic accident, adding that preliminary investigation indicates the children were unsupervised and had carried a hoe to dig for rodents, commonly known as mbeba. Mr. Chilabi explains that the younger child leaned into the hole while the older child was digging, and in the process, the hoe accidentally hit the boy's head, causing a deep wound. He notes that the elder brother alerted their grandfather, who found the child unconscious and bleeding. The boy was rushed to Mukinji Mission Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Mr. Chilabi says an inquiry file has been opened and no arrest has been made, as the case involves minors and appears accidental. Mr. Chilabi urges parents and guardians to closely monitor children, especially when handling tools or engaging in risky activities. You're still watching ICU TV Main News. We'll take a short break, and coming up is the international and sports news. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back. And in our international news, Israel settlers attacked the Palestinian town of Bruqin in the northwest bank, setting fire to homes and vehicles, resulting in several residents suffering burn injuries. Local resident Mustafa reported ongoing harassment, including verbal abuse, stone throwing, and property damage, prompting him to evacuate his family for safety. This incident is part of a broader surge in violence in the West Bank, coinciding with the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The Israel military has conducted extensive operations against militants in the region, leading to numerous Palestinian casualties and displacements. Still in our international news, US President Donald Trump has said he is recommending a 50% tariff on all goods from the European Union being imported to the United States. He wrote in a post on social media on Friday that the discussions with them were going nowhere. He said that the new tariffs would kick in on 1st June. The announcement marks an escalation of Trump's trade war with the EU. He initially proposed a 20% tariff on most EU goods, but held it to 10% until 8 July to allow time for talks. The president also threatened to impose a 25% import tax, at least on iPhones not manufactured in America. We'll take a short break. Stay with us for sports news.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath, knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school, and stood by you when you felt burdened by the troubles of this world. I knew you, my child, and I was there for you through it all. I've been watching over you, and I've been listening as you speak. When you wake up each morning, I wait and listen, hoping you would let me in on the plans you have set for the day. Why won't you just let me in and have me be a part of your life? Cause my child, I've been watching, hoping that you will invite me in and let me be there with you every step of the way, trusting that I know what's best for you and would never lead you astray. I've been listening to every little wish you make,
And I've been waiting on you though. Waiting for you to finally finish those public charades you pull in my name so that we can finally have a heart-to-heart, you and I. Waiting for you to welcome me into that very heart you've already deemed irredeemable so that I may renew it. Waiting for you to finally listen to all the things I say to you on a daily basis, the pleas, the warning, the advice. My child, I am still waiting. Holding on to the fear of losing you, I wait and wait and wait, hoping that you'll be ready though before it is too late, because my child, I've been listening to you make wishes about how you want to be rich by 24, married by 26 and crowned best of the best by 30, wondering how exactly you think you've got it down all on your own. I've been listening, waiting to hear the part where you finally mention my name, the part where you mention that you're gonna trust me, the part where you shout, I have a Father in heaven who will guide me through it all, clearing the path before it is even in sight and illuminating it so my feet may not falter. A Father who will not only show up, but show off with me. I am still waiting with the hope that you'll be ready before it is too late. Let me in so that we can finally have that heart-to-heart, you and I, waiting with the hope that you'll be ready before it is too late. But I'm still waiting.
Welcome back. And now in our sports news, FAS President Keith Mwemba has met with the Copper Queens head coach Nora to discuss the team's preparation for upcoming FIFA window fixtures and the 2025 Women African Cup of Nations in Morocco. During the meeting, Nora presented her training program. FAS General Secretary Ruben Kamanga and Technical Director Lyson Zulu also participated in the session. Zambia will face Botswana and South Africa in friendly matches during the FIFA window as part of its WAFCON build-up. The team is currently in camp with foreign-based players set to join in the final preparation phase. That sport item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a quick recap on the stories making headlines. Vice President Nalumango to attend the 13th Zambia's Water Forum. Zambia strengthens health initiatives at the World Health Assembly. And Faith Bwalya makes history at Miss World 2025. In our international news, settlers set fire to homes in Bruqin. In sports news, FAS President meets Copper Queen coach ahead of FIFA windows. Thank you so much for watching. For more news, stay glued to our Facebook page at ICU TV and our website at icutvzm.com.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenia Moyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself, and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92, and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.